Hi everyone, my name is Sydney Bray. I'll be presenting on the use of word maps to target semantics. Word maps are visual organizers used to promote vocabulary and semantic development. The use of word maps is based on semantic features analysis, where students describe, make connections, and predictions about a single vocabulary word. Oftentimes I see that students have language goals that include expanding their vocabulary by describing items by their attribute, increasing their utterance length, and or comparing and contrasting between items or objects in their environment. So this can be used for students with any or all of those goals. The material list is very short. All you really need is a visual presentation of the word map, either a printed copy like this or a copy on your computer screen. Manipulatives such as small toys or figures can also be used, which I will explain further in my demonstration. Before I go into the demonstration, I just wanted to give you some examples of different semantic feature charts and word maps. And these are some that have already been created and they're available online. You can also make your own. So I'm just going to give you a few examples. All the references are in the handouts of where you can find these and give the proper credit to who made them. This first one is a semantic features chart. So it just shows the different features that we can use to build semantics. So those could include appearance, parts, groups, location, function, and kind of explains those. This next chart is a little more specific. It has a specific vocabulary word in the middle, and then these little bubbles are the different features that we can use to describe the item. Then here are a few more examples of different charts that have already been made. And again, like I said, you can also create your own, but I just wanted to give you a frame of reference before we go into our demonstration. All right, so today we're going to do a fun activity together. Are you ready? All right, here we go. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we are going to use this fun visual and we're going to talk about and describe an item. So first I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm going to put a picture here of a different item. We're going to talk about it together. And these are some ways that we can talk about the item. So first up here, you see it says location. So we're going to talk about where can we find it? Where can we find that item? This next box is size. What size is it? Is it big? Is it small? Then if we come down here, we have composition or accessories. So that means what is it made out of? What goes with it? It's another way we can talk about it. Then if we go up here, we're going to talk about parts. What parts does it have? Coming down here, we're going to talk about the appearance, such as color. What color is it? What does it look like? Then if we go down here to function, we're going to talk about what does it do or what do you do with it? All right, so now that I explained our chart, I'm going to go into a specific picture. Are you ready? Here we go. Let's start with this one right here. What is it? You're right, it's a cheeseburger. Do you like cheeseburgers? Me too. All right, so first we're gonna go up here. We're gonna talk about location. Do you remember what location is? Yeah, exactly. Where can you find it? So where can we find a cheeseburger? You're right, we can find a cheeseburger at a restaurant. Yeah, we can find a cheeseburger like at In-N-Out. All right, so next we're gonna go down here to size. What size is it? You're right, a cheeseburger is small. Okay, next we're gonna talk about what is it made out of? Or what are the different parts? We can kind of put these two together. What is a cheeseburger made out of? You're right, we have bread, lettuce, pickles, tomato, cheese, meat. Good, those are all the different parts. Those are all what make up a cheeseburger. All right, color, what does it look like? I know there are so many different colors here, huh? So we could say it has brown, green, red, yellow. You're right, it's made up of all different colors. The next thing we can do is we can talk about the function. What does it do? Or what do you do with it? You're right, you eat it. We eat a cheeseburger. Mmm, yummy. All right, good job talking about our cheeseburger. Okay, we're gonna do another one together. All right, so what's the picture here? Yeah, it's a fork. Very good. So now we're gonna describe a fork. And remember, we can use any of these clues here to help us talk about a fork. Okay, so I want you to try to tell me 4 things about a fork. How can you describe it? Remember, look here if you need some clues. All right, you want to tell me where you can find it? Where can you find a fork? In the kitchen, exactly. You can find a fork in the kitchen. What else can you tell me about a fork? Maybe you can tell me what color it is? Oh, what color is a fork? A fork is silver. Very good. A fork is silver. What else can you tell me? You're right. What we can do with it. We eat with a fork. It's exactly what we do with it. One more thing. What else can you tell me about a fork? How about we go over here to size? What size is it? A fork is small. Very good. A fork is small. All right, so I'm going to show you a different way you can use word maps, still to build semantics, but maybe to address more specific goals like comparing and contrasting between items. So this is usually when I like to use manipulatives. So I'll bring out all sorts of different toys or items, and I usually let the student choose what items they want to talk about, and we can compare them and contrast them using our word maps. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate that for you. All right, so today we're going to talk about 2 different items. So you can see I have so many different fun things here. So I want you to pick 2 different things. What should we choose today? Oh, good choice. All right. We are going to choose an apple and a banana. All right, so we're going to talk about how these 2 items are the same. Okay, what makes them the same? Remember, we can use our word map and we can talk about the different areas that they may be the same. What do you think? Good, they're in the same category or the same group. An apple is a fruit and a banana is a fruit. That makes them the same, huh? All right, now let's talk about a way that they are different. What could make them different? Yeah, their shape or what they look like. They both have different shapes. An apple is round and a banana is more like a moon shape, huh? They have different shapes. Is there any other way that they could be the same? You're right, the function, what we do with it. We eat an apple and we eat a banana. That's another way that they are the same. Very good. All right, let's pick 2 more items we can talk about. So we already did apple and banana. What else can we do? Okay, sure. Let's do a ball and a car. I want you to give me one way they're the same and one way that they're different. Remember, we can use our word map if we get stuck, okay? All right. What is one way that they're the same? You're right, they're both in the same group or category. These are both toys. We can play with a car. We can play with a ball. So they have the same function. We play with them and they're in the same group. They're both toys. What makes them different? How are they different? Yeah, just like our fruit, they have different shapes, huh? A ball is round and the car is a different shape. It has all sorts of shapes, huh? It has round wheels, but the whole car is a different shape. All right, while doing this activity, although the primary goal is developing semantic skills, other specific areas can be addressed as well, either independently or simultaneously. If students have a goal to increase their utterance length, you can model or require those specific utterance lengths as you describe each item and picture. So for example, if I were to ask students right here of the appearance, what does it look like, feel, or taste like? I could have them reply with, it looks like blank. So requiring that specific utterance length or that full sentence. And I can also model that. If maybe they respond with outside, I could say, oh great, yes, a tree is found outside. So I could model those longer utterances for them as well. Also, as we're working through these activities, it requires a lot of comprehension skills. So comprehension of questions can also be targeted as we ask students many questions, including what, where, why, such as what is it made of, where can you find it, what does it do? So all of these areas can be addressed simultaneously or independently using this activity. All right, so the last thing I want to do is talk about some modifications when using word maps in therapy. So how you can increase or decrease that level of support for your students. There are lots of different ways you can do this, but here's just one way that I found that has worked. So when using word maps, if you want to provide a maximal level of support, oftentimes I will have this word map available for students. So I will either have this picture or have it on the computer screen the entire time we're working on the activity. And I will go through each section with the students. So we'll have our word in the middle and I will talk about the parts and I will ask students, tell me what are the different parts in it? Group, tell me what category is it in? What does it do? Where do you find it? And I will go through each of these, just guiding the student through how to describe the item and always having that visual available to them. So that's just one way that I would provide a maximal level of support, is having that visual presentation available and walking the students through each step. Now, if I wanted to decrease that support a little bit and maybe offer a moderate level of support, what I would do is I would give the student, still have this word map available to them, put the item in the middle, and let the student tell me about it. Let the student describe it. So whether we're just describing an item or comparing or contrasting, the students have this word map and they can talk about it. So if I say, tell me about the item, give me 4 things, or tell me one way they're the same and one way they're different, the student will use the word map independently, look at the different areas and describe that item to me or compare those items. So that is just one way. So instead of me guiding them through and walking them through each step, the student is using the word map or that visual support on their own. So if I wanted to provide a very minimal level of support, I would take this word map and maybe just set it off to the side and remind students that it's available if they need it, if they need a quick reminder of how they can describe an item, or if they're missing anything, they can just kind of quickly look at it. But put that off to the side and have the student describe or compare those items independently, only referencing that word map when needed. So again, this is just some ways that you can increase and decrease the level of support. There are different ways, but I have found that that tends to work with some students. So just one way you can modify.